After last game that we had here between Kentville and Dartmouth, Colby Turple was actually asked to head to nationals with the Dartmouth Dry. I'm sure he took them up on that offer, so that's the kind of ball player we're dealing with over there at first base. Schreider also with the invite. We'll see him in a bit. At the plate, he's playing shortstop today. He's a great ball player. So we've got a hole cut out of the mesh, if you noticed. I'm sure you did, as it probably was a little bit tubular looking through the mesh and the backstop, so we tried to save you a little bit. We'll see what kind of improvements we can get as the season goes on. The city must have placed a perfectly spaced hole for us somehow. So it's 1 out. Long at bat here for Ostrov. Turple over at first base. He gets his signs from the third base coach. Pretty conservative lead over there. Takes another step. He's gone. Hard shot by Ostrov. Just drops in fair. Foul ball is the call from home plate ump Blaine Gallant. That hit and run would have worked out well. Ostrov looking at a full count. Turple was on the move. We'll see if they move him again. Knowing how good Alex Ostrov is at making contact, I can see it happening. No steal. Ball's popped up to second base. Matt Dudelet. Dudelet calls it. And that's 2 down for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry.
Next to the plate, the second baseman, number 21, Caden Cordoso.
Nice off-speed pitch there. Caden Cardoso, the third baseman for the Wildcats, just saw from Doug Quick. Doug gets up in another count here with 1 strike. Turple leaves now. He's going to second. Heffley throws from his knees. Thibodeau with a nice pickup off the grass, but Turple with a great jump. He gets there easily. One on one count. Turple in scoring position now with 2 outs. Smart call here from the Wildcats. Got to get up early on this Dartmouth Dry team. They've got very powerful bats. They can change a score in a blink of an eye. Foul tip as that one got Cardoso in on the hands, and he sprayed it foul. One ball, 2 strikes. See what Colton Heffley calls here now for the strikeout pitch from Doug Quick. Doug Quick goes inside again and on the hands, knowing Cardoso is pushing that foul.
Just a reminder, kids, bring back the foul balls to the canteen and collect a tasty treat.
After 2 pitches inside, Quick and Heffley decide to go on the outside. This one, they didn't give Cardoso a chance to reach that one. Hoping he'd swing and miss. But he wisely laid off. 2s across the board now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Quick goes inside. This one hit out to Ted Camo. Makes that one look nice as it lands in the glove, and he racks up the 3rd out for the Dartmouth Dry. We'll be back at the bottom of the 1st inning.
The 1st inning for Kentville, they scored no runs on 1 hit, no Dartmouth errors, and
Leading off the bottom of the 1st for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry is Chris Head, the center fielder. And on the mound for the Kentville Wildcats is Matty Johnson. Right-handed pitcher for the Wildcats. Johnson finds the outside of the plate for that one. 1-1 count. Johnson goes outside again, doesn't catch the plate this time. Had seen 3 pitches, hasn't taken the bat off his shoulders. Hasn't picked one he liked just yet. Here's Johnson now, deals with an off-speed pitch. Head fooled on the off-speed pitch. Here comes another. Catcher Kyle Armsworthy holds that one and let the umpire take another look as Chris Head now on a full count to lead off the bottom of the 1st. Johnson seems to be locating well. As I say that, scoots one in the dirt. Chris Head walks the 1st.
now coming to the plate, shortstop, number 5, Chris Thibodeau.
Stepping to the plate now, number 5 is Chris Thibodeau. July 2nd, it was a very similar situation, bottom of the 2nd. He was a little further down the batting order, but Head let it off to get on base, and Thibodeau sent one over the left field wall. And we all knew it was headed to the moon when it left his bat. Good idea for Johnson to stay out of the middle of the plate here. Head moving a lot over at first base. Be interested to see if he goes. He does. Thibodeau sends one straight up to second base. Head's got to retreat. So Cardoso dropped it in the transfer.
Into the box, first baseman number 23, Mike Reeves.
Get a pop out from Thibodeau. Newly acquired number 23, Mike Reeves. Younger brother of Jeff Reeves. The pitcher for the Moosehead Dry. Chris Head still at first base. Had to retreat after the hit and run didn't work out. Over goes Johnson to first base to check on Head. And he's back in there standing. Head's gone. Reeves puts one in front of right field. Colby Turple. Head's going to hold up at third base. Turple sends one off the wall here down the third base line. He was trying to get Head there and just overthrew it.
Now to play third baseman number 82.
Reeves moves on to second on the error. Step into the box, number 82, Anthony McKinley. Johnson deals. Breaking ball to the outside. McKinley looking to create a couple fireworks here. Takes a hard hack at that one. He had his mind up. He wanted to score these guys on the first pitch. See if he can regain some patience here and keep an eye on his favorite pitch. Take one for a ride. Here's Johnson now. Inside with the curveball. Good location. McKinley sends one to the left field wall. It's off the base of it. There's Sampson out there. So McKinley will score two on a double. Out to left center, hard shot. I think they went back to the breaking ball, and he had seen enough of that to take it for a ride.
Now to play the catcher number 42, Colton Heffley.
There is one out, although the graphic doesn't tell you that. That was a pop out by Chris Thibodeau to the second baseman Cardoso. Heffley now jumps on the first pitch he sees and sends it to the center field gap. Sampson with good wheels. Covers a lot of ground to catch that ball. McKinley tags up and makes it to third safely.
Now to play the designated hitter number 41, Dan Camo.
Johnson finds the outside. Heffley with the fly out to center field. Dan Camo now at the dish as this pass ball gets away from Kyle Armsworthy, and McKinley rounds the bases and scores for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry. Number 41, Dan Camo, the DH for the Dry tonight. Matty Johnson working both sides of the plate, but just needs to reel it in a little bit. Full count, 2 out. Should see some action here. Dan Camo reaches, but sends it to second base. Cardoso over to first. And that does it. The Moosehead Dry score 3 in the bottom of the first. We'll see if the Wildcats can answer in the top of the second.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this live stream. Would you like to webcast your next event? Want to reach a larger audience, maybe even global? Let 360 Live show the world your story. Send us an email to hello@360.live for more details. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on these social media sites.
Leading off the top of the second inning is Cody Schrader. Spoke earlier. He is going to go to nationals with this Dartmouth Dry team. Doug Quick sends one behind the ears. Let him know he's not on the team yet. Schrader, a guy you don't want to get behind. Doug Quick hasn't found the plate yet here in the top of the second. See if Heffley lays one in here. Schrader jumps on it. Got the easy way out as Mike Reeves makes that play in foul territory. The 3-0 count. Schrader looking to get on base when he can. Saw a pitch he liked, took a swing, and get a good piece. Kyle Armsworthy, the catcher, now batting for the Kentville Wildcats. I've played some ball with Kyle. We played on the Hammonds Plains A's for a couple years together. He's a great catcher. Was lucky enough to have him call a couple games for me. And when there's runners on, he's got a great arm. He can throw it from his knees. Great hitter as well as he sits in the 5-hole. Oh, 6, sorry. But Kyle, great young guy. Good. Should be in this league for a long time if he chooses. Arms worthy. Disagreement there. Didn't think that caught the outside. Kept it cool enough that Mr. Gallant didn't send him.
28, the left fielder, Brandon McKay.
Quick fill in the zone now after falling down to Schreider through a 3-0. Hard shot to second base, or shortstop, sorry. Chris Thibodeau picks that one up on a line. And Brandon McKay, the left fielder, is the third out of the top half of the second inning. We'll be back with the Moosehead Dry at the plate for the bottom of the second.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning for Dartmouth, left fielder number 34, Ted Camo.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning is the left fielder, sorry, Ted Camo. Camo, a great hitter. Put on a show in both live stream games that we've done to this point. 4 for 4 on his first night, and did a great job of scoring runs against Halifax on July 2nd. So we'll see if he can keep that rolling. Matty Johnson tries to find the outside. Johnson sends one down the heart of the plate. Camo jumps on it but pulls it foul. These bright days are tough to keep my focus on my camera here, folks, so bear with me. I know. There we go. Let's see how that works for a little while. Great viewer numbers. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching it here. And thanks so much to 360 Live for sending me out here. Camo didn't love that one, as he thought he should have got another look at the next pitch, but not the case. Camo walks back, and a couple ay-yi-yis from the Dartmouth fan section. But Johnson meets the first batter of the bottom of the second with a backwards K. Billy Hartley now, the right fielder, number 17. Gets hit by a pitch.
Coming to the plate, second baseman number 11, Matt Dooley.
Stepping in now is the second baseman, number 11, Matt Dooley. Dooley shows bunt. Johnson spins a curveball into the dirt, and Hartley gets second base with ease. He rounds second. Armsworthy watches him back. Gets Johnson the ball back. Billy Hartley now in scoring position with one away. Dooley, after showing bunt, we'll see if he goes back to that or looks to pull one through the right side. He swings, pops it up to second. First base Story. That's a pop out. Drew Chase with the catch for the Wildcats.
Fielder number 4, Chris Head.
Hartley at second, Chris Head, top of the order. Looks to face Johnson again. Head took a base on balls in his last at bat, and he sends one out to center field where Pleasant Sampson makes a nice grab out there to shut the dry down before any damage.
Bottom half of the second inning for Dartmouth.
We'll be back with the top of the third.
No Kentville errors and one man. Top of the third inning for Kentville. Designated hitter number 30, John and Sarah.
John and Sarah walks to the dish for the Kentville Wildcats. He's the DH this evening, batting in the 8 hole to lead off the third inning. Doug Quick working quick. I think he threw about 2 pitches in between that inning. Felt warm enough to keep it rolling. Hard shot the other way. John and Sarah sends one between McKinley and Thibodeau. Camo comes up with it cleanly and keeps and Sarah to a single.
Now at the plate, the first baseman number 39, Drew Chase.
First baseman Drew Chase now into the box, number 39 for the Wildcats. He looks at one on the inside. Quick gets it a called strike. Drew Chase now knows where the inside of the plate is. He puts one on the ground lightly to Thibodeau. Thibodeau goes to Dudelet. He throws it, overthrows Dudelet. And Sarah now going to run to third. Hartley wisely holds on to it to limit the damage. And Sarah goes to third. And Drew Chase is at first base. The Wildcats with a threat here
At the plate,
in the third inning.
Number 38, Jason Pleasant Sampson.
Jason Pleasant Sampson now sends one just off the top of the dry dugout. I'm sure he's looking to capitalize on that life given. Dartmouth scored 3 in the first inning. Pleasant Sampson now sees one. He rips at that one foul. Going to put one in play. Cash Chase in from third base. So Chase at first and Sarah at third. Pleasant goes down to get this one with the 9-iron. Doug Quick calls for it. He's got it. They fight for it. Drop ball. Sampson lands with an error.
Right fielder, number 11, Colby Turple.
So Pleasant lands with an error and Chase on with an error. Bases loaded now with no outs. Doug Quick in his first jam of the ball game gets on top of Colby Turple with one strike. Turple disagrees. Quick not worried about the runners. He gets up early on Turple. Turple going to have to splash something away. Ooh, rips one. Down right field. Up and out of here. Turple with the grand slam. Wow, off the bat. 2 strikes, no balls. Gets one up and in and absolutely rides it out to right field. This is 325. And the Dartmouth Dry, you know, it's a bit of a catch-22. You might like to see the ball leave that guy's bat like that. Maybe against another team, but what a shot. Grand slam.
At the plate, third baseman, number 13, Alex Ostroff.
Like I'm telling you, people, Nova Scotia Senior Baseball, you're going to see it all. Ostrov now hard shot to Dudelet. Dudelet picks it up out of the dirt and settles the Dry in with their first out of the inning.
Coming to the plate, the second
Marking my
baseman,
book,
number 21, Caden Cordoso.
but I do know that there's one out, and the Wildcats did score 4 off that line shot down the wall. Made it out of here by Turple. Ostrov grounds out to Dudelet for the first out. Oh. Number 21, Caden Cardoso at the plate, looking to keep things going for the Wildcats. Errors never come at the right time, and there's a good example as two runners got on, Drew Chase and Jason Pleasant-Sampson, with errors. Cardoso now rips one just past Thibodeau's reach at short. Head with a hard throw to second to keep Cardoso at first. Cardoso wisely sticks around. Head wheeled that one in
Shortstop, number 15,
to keep him at
Brody
first.
Strider.
Lots of life over there in the Wildcats dugout now thanks to that home run. The juices will be flowing until the end of this ball game, I imagine. Into the box now is Cody Schreider. It's first baseman Drew Chase over there giving the signs at third as he sends Cardoso. But this one picked up by Chris Head. He sends one right to first base. Mike Reeves didn't even have to move. And that's a double play to get the Dartmouth Dry out of some trouble here. Well, lots of great action. And a grand slam, folks. We saw it. Colby Turple, after disagreeing with a couple pitches, didn't want to wait around and see the next pitch, and he sent it over the right field wall. We'll be back with the bottom of the third.
Shortstop, number 5, Chris Thibodeau.
Leading off the bottom of the third is the shortstop, Chris Thibodeau, number 5. He popped out to the second baseman in his last at-bat. Matty Johnson hoping for the same result. Thibodeau rips one out to left field now. Left fielder tracks just off the wall out there. Foul ball. Long strike. Head coach Bob Gillis calling for Chris Thibodeau to put one into play here. With his unique flair, of course. This breaking ball gets away from Matty Johnson. 2-1 count. See if he brings the heater here. A lot of off-speed stuff from number 4. Looks like a change up that Thibodeau rides out there just out of Cody Schreider's reach. He'll reach with a single.
At the plate, the first baseman, number 23, Mike Reeves.
Here's the left-handed hitter, number 23, Mike Reeves. Reeves made it to first on a single, and then he moved on to second on a throwing error as Turple tried to get Chris Head at third base. Turple tracks that one down in right field, sends it to the cutoff man, and it's 1 out for the Wildcats.
Third baseman, number 82, Anthony McKinley.
McKinley with a clutch at bat. Had Chris Head at third and Mike Reeves at second. He sent one out there to the left center wall. Scored 2 and came around to score himself. Thibodeau over there at first base. Aggressive lead, takes off. McKinley stands in the box. Knew it was happening. Thibodeau down and safe. Arms where they didn't have a chance with that great jump by Chris Thibodeau. Thibodeau and Schreider chatted up. They get an opportunity to yak it up. Former teammates for Baseball Nova Scotia, I'm sure, over the years. Curveball from Matty Johnson. McKinley gets under it. Sends it out to first base. There's Drew Chase underneath. Make that grab for the second out.
Now at the plate, the catcher, number 42, Colton Heffley.
The catcher, Colton Heffley now. Where's number 42 for the Dartmouth Dry? Chris Thibodeau at second base in scoring position. Big lead from Thibodeau, but nobody holding them. Off-speed pitch gets Heffley. Heffley looked like he decided he didn't want to swing about halfway through that swing. Off-speed stuff from Johnson, just luring batters in. There's another one, low changeup. Curveball maybe. Armsworthy's choosing his spots wisely when he wants the fastball. Johnson doesn't mind spinning it in there. This one outside. Heffley wisely lays off. 2-2 count. Thibodeau takes off. Heffley swings at a meatball. And the off-speed stuff working for Johnson gets him out of trouble here in the third inning.
Bottom of the third inning for Dartmouth. They scored no runs on 1 hit.
It'll be Kyle Armsworthy, the catcher, leading off the fourth inning. We'll be back.
Kentville 4, Dartmouth 3. Dartmouth Moose has
Just marking my book, folks, but I'm all caught up now. Kyle Armsworthy leading off the top of the 4th inning against Doug Quick. Quick filling the zone. Here's Armsworthy, splashes one out of the reach of Matt Dudelay at second base, and Armsworthy lands safely at first with a single.
Left fielder number 28, Brandon McKay.
Stepping in now was Brandon McKay. McKay lined out to the shortstop, Chris Thibodeau, his last at bat. McKay, the left fielder for the Wildcats. Quick paints the inside with a heater. Little grimace there from number 28, McKay. Armsworthy takes a conservative lead at first base. McKay gets a good piece of that one, but pulls it foul. Just out in front. McKay gets under this one. Thibodeau follows suit, gets under the high pop-up, brings it in safely, and that's the first out of the top of the 4th.
Designated hitter number 30, John Ansara.
John and Sarah came around to score after a single his last at bat. He looks to connect with one early. No luck. And Sarah sends one back up the box to Chris Head. Head takes a couple steps back, but he reels that one in.
First baseman number 39, Drew Chase.
Drew Chase. A run that scored on the Turple Grand Slam. Reached on an E6 his last at bat. Quick gets up early on Chase. Armsworthy still over there at first. Chase takes that one in the ribs. And the Wildcats have 2 base runners on with 2 out. Here's the top of the order now, Jason Pleasant-Sampson, who reached on an error by the first baseman his last at bat. Heffley does a good job of smothering that one. Armsworthy, the catcher at second base, knew it would be a tough one to wrangle, so he got off the bag big time, but makes it back to second. Pleasant turns on one, foul ball. 1-1 count. Sampson hits one to short. Thibodeau brings it in. The Dry out of trouble. It will be Dan Camo, the DH, leading off the bottom of the 4th. We're back.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth inning for the dry, designated hitter number 41, Dan Camo.
Stepping into the box now for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry is number 41, Dan Camo, the designated hitter. Dan grounded out to the second baseman, his last at bat. Looking to change things. Kind of reached for one in his last at bat too, so we'll see if he sees one over the heart of the plate, if he takes it for a ride here. Dan reaches. This foul ball is out of everybody's reach. Matty Johnson on the hill for the Wildcats, pitching well with the lead. Had a tough first inning, but has since settled down for 2 quiet ones. The Dry scored 3 on the first inning. Dan sends one up, squares the ball up the middle. He reaches safely.
Now to plate the left fielder number 34, Ted Camo.
Left fielder Ted Camo now steps to the dish, facing Matty Johnson. Johnson throwing a lot of breaking balls here. We'll see if number 34 can square one up, or if Johnson will get the better of him. Johnson finds the outside of the plate, gets the early strike on Ted Camo. Batter with a great eye is Ted Camo, and just a great hitter in general. Didn't appreciate how he went down last time with a backwards K, and didn't totally agree with Blaine Gallant's call. As they have a little chat. This one way outside. This one on the inside of the plate. Camo early on it. Dribbles it to third. Dan Camo with the heads-up base running makes it over to third on the play. Ted just getting jammed on that one.
At the plate, the right fielder number 17, Billy Hartley.
So Ted moves Dan over to third base. And here's Billy Hartley now, who was hit by a pitch his last at bat. Hartley puts one on the ground to second base. Cardoso scoops that up over to first for the second out, but Dan Camo comes all the way around to score. Tie ball game here in the bottom of the fourth.
At the plate, the second baseman number 11, Matt Doodley.
Matt Doodley lays one down. This one creeps to first base. Well-placed bunt. Glove flip to first. And they got him. Great play there by Cardoso to flip that with the glove. He didn't have time to put it in his hand and underhand.
Bottom half, the
So he skipped a step and may toss it over to Drew Chase for the third out. We'll be back in the top of the fifth.
Kentville 4, Dartmouth 4. Leading off the top of the fifth inning for the Wildcats, right fielder number 11, Colby Turple.
Right fielder Colby Turple put 4 on the board with a single swing of the bat his last time up. And the right fielder looking to keep his game going after a single and a home run. His third plate appearance here. See how Doug Quick deals with him. Quick goes with the heater on the outside to start the count. You don't want to serve one up on the inside and near his hands. So they stay away from him, and he flares one out to no man's land. Thibodeau tracks it down, makes a great play. Big catch there by the shortstop. And Colby Turple goes down.
Alex Ostrov.
The fly out. Alex Ostrov, third baseman for the Wildcats. His previous at-bats were a pop out to second base and then a 4-3 ground ball, so he's looking to have an impact here with this at-bat. 3-0 count. Ostrov wisely lays off and takes his free bag to first base.
Second baseman number 21, Caden Cardoso.
Caden Cardoso, the second baseman. Looks at that one on the outside half of the plate. Cardoso on a hit and run his last time in the base paths. Chris Head, after Cardoso took off stealing, Chris Head caught him at first base after making a catch on a line drive out to center. Here's Ted Camo now chasing one down in left field. Camo comes up throwing to third, no action. As Cardoso will happily make it in there to first base. The bloop fly ball out to left. Gets his
Number
single.
15, the shortstop, Cody Schreider.
Ostrov at second, Cardoso at first, and Cody Schreider, the shortstop, steps to the plate with one out. Quick gets up. Has done a great job of getting up early with that first strike. Number 15, Schreider. Sends one up the middle. Doodle, tailor-made. He takes it to second himself, throws to first for 2. And that's the inning. Great play there by Matt Doodle. Saves Doug Quick some pitches and doubles them up to end the top of the 5th. It'll be the top of the order for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry to lead off the 5th. Bottom of the 5th. Talk to you then. This one goes behind Reeves. Reeves takes off out of the batter's box. Armsworthy's going to have to make a big throw here. Well, Reeves wisely just rushes it. Sees if Armsworthy will go for it.
Coming to the plate, number 82, third baseman Anthony McKinley.
So Reeves reaches with a base on balls after the Chris Thibodeau round tripper out there to left field, left center. Looking at a 330 shot. Hope everybody caught a bit of that home run derby earlier in the week. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. put on an absolute show. And as a Blue Jays fan, I love the looks of that. The future is bright in Toronto. We might have to burn a couple years here, but once those young studs get up there and they start hitting major league pitching a little more often, I see good things in our future, the Jays fans. Be interesting to see what we do with Stroman and, Justin Smoke as the season moves on. Since I have the mic, I'd like to tell you I'd like to see them trade it for a couple prospects. Pitchers would be most appreciated, but we'll see what happens. I've got faith in Shapiro. Here's 82 now, Anthony McKinley. Reeves reaches on that one. Bounce off Kyle Armsworthy, the catcher for the Wildcats, and out into play. He didn't know where it was. So Reeves trots to second. Scoring position now for Anthony McKinley, an RBI machine. Johnson, well-placed pitch on the outside. Reeves with a big lead, second baseman over now. This curveball just inside. McKinley willing to wear it if it was an inch or two more inside. Two-one count now, one out. Reeves, big lead at second base. Outside is the call, 3-1 count to the big bat of Anthony McKinley. Ball four, McKinley takes his base. So back-to-back walks here
Catcher number 42, Colton Heffley.
for Matty Johnson. Heffley with a single in his, Heffley 0 for 2. Went down swinging in his last at-bat. Johnson doing a great job of staying out of the middle of the plate. Just finding that outside and inside of the zone most of the night. This one down in the dirt. Armsworthy scoops it, no problem. Great glove back there, number 9. There it is. He picks off Reeves at second base. Picked his time. Reeves out at third. McKinley has to stay at first. Matty Johnson picks a great time to spin around and pick Reeves off at second base. Got him caught in the pickle. Cardoso chased him over to Ostrov. Ostrov with the tag. 2 outs here in the 5th. McKinley jumping around over at first base looking to steal a bag on his own mind. Heffley lines one down the left field side. Foul. One ball, 2 strikes to Heffley. McKinley takes off, foul ball. Good jump there by McKinley. He was smiling with a stolen bag, and he gets told foul tip, sends him back. Matty Johnson has a chuckle with McKinley on his way back. McKinley takes off again. Bad jump this time. He's going to stand on second. We've seen this routine before. One ball, 2 strikes to Heffley. Matty Johnson hoping to shut this inning down after the home run from Chris Thibodeau, which gave the Dry the lead here early in the bottom of the 5th. McKinley fakes run into second base. Ostrov comes up with it at third. He throws it over to Chase. Chase can't get a handle on it. Ball gets away from him, and Heffley's going to make it in there safely at first base.
Designated hitter number 41, Dan Camo.
Heffley makes it in there safely on an E5. Just a high throw there from Ostrov. Had to rush it. Pulled Chase off the bag. So it's McKinley at second, Heffley at first. Dan Camo. Line drive single in his last at bat. We got a good look at the gap between center and right. Interesting to see if Dan Camo zeroes in on that part of the ball field. Going to hit some grass and score McKinley at the very least. Johnson pitches it to the outside. Camo reaches, sends it out to right field, and there's Colby Turple to reel it in for the third out. We'll be back with the top of the 6th.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this live stream. Would you like to webcast your next event? Want to reach a larger audience, maybe even global? Let 360 Live show the world your story. Send us an email to hello@360.live for more details. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on these social media sites.
5-4 ball game, top of the 6th.
Teeing up the top of the
Kyle
sixth,
Armsworthy, the catcher.
Catcher number 9, Kyle Armsworthy.
Armsworthy made it to first base safely. His last at bat had backwards K in the 2nd inning. See what he does here now. Doug Quick still on the mound, pitching well for the Dry. The only reason for the 4 on the board was a grand slam by Colby Turple in the 3rd inning. Quick up in that at bat, 2 strikes, no balls. Put one in on the hands of Turple. Turple twisted and slashed one out there. Armsworthy watches this one on the outside of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Quick and Heffley look to go back outside. This one just a touch low. This one inside and low. 3-2, full count. They go with the gas. Hard shot by Armsworthy. He sends it over to third base, McKinley. McKinley with a good arm gets Armsworthy. Armsworthy hustling down the first base line, makes it close.
Brandon McKay.
Left fielder Brandon McKay steps to the box. Steps in. Number 28. Has a line out and a pop out. This is 3rd bat of the ball game. Quick with the fastball. Looked to be an off-speed pitch. This next one got McKay out in front of it. .360 Live, happy to provide this coverage of the Nova Scotia Senior Men's Baseball League here in Nova Scotia. If you have any events, feel free to contact them and have us out to stream an event, conferences, any sport, you name it, we're up for showing up and making it work best for you. So appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully there'll be lots more to come in the coming years for live streaming here in Nova Scotia and in the Atlantic provinces as a whole. McKay checks his swing. They check it down to first base. He did not go. 2-2 count. Quick goes outside. McKay in total disagreement. Heffley pulled that one back over the plate.
Hitter number 30, John and Sarah.
John and Sarah steps in now, the DH. Sent a liner out to Chris Head in center field. His last at bat, he drops one in over Chris Thibodeau's head this time. Nice hit by number 30, John and Sarah. Get on base.
Number 39, the first
Definitely going to look into
base.
covering the Nationals in Miramichi this year. Be great to get out and provide the coverage for that event. I've been a couple times over my life, and it's a great week of baseball. Here's Chase, lines one back to Quick. Quick picks it up, thanks to his good reactions. And that's the top half of the 6th. It's Ted Camo leading it off for the Dartmouth Dry in the bottom of the 6th when we return. The bottom of the 6th will be led off by the left fielder, Ted Camo. Camo 0 for 2 in this ball game. New pitcher for the Wildcats is Jordan Johnson, number 26. We'll see how Jordan does coming in to relieve Matty Johnson. Camo jumps on the first pitch he sees, sends a foul. Johnson with the high inside heat. Camo ducks out of the way of that one. Ted is a guy who's never rushed in that batter's box. He's on his own time, but he's a great hitter, so it pays off for him. Two balls, one strike to him now. Young hitters could learn a lot from Mr. Camo. As I said, when he sees a pitch he likes, he'll stay in the box and be ready for the next one. And if he has to chase one to the outside, for example, he'll kind of brush it off, step back, and make sure he doesn't watch it again. So 2-2 count here to lead off the bottom of the 6th. This one up and away now. Jordan Johnson coming into the ball game, facing a tough battle with Ted Camo, the left fielder. This one down and away. Johnson not happy as he felt he got that called earlier in that at bat, but Ted Camo walks it down to first base happily as Billy Hartley, the right fielder, steps in for Dartmouth.
Now pitch running for Ted Crow, number 33, Matt Harding.
Matt Harding comes in to pinch run for Ted at first base. Matt Harding, the usual left fielder, will take his place in left field in the top half of the 7th. But for now, he's at first base. And Jordan Johnson pitching for the Wildcats. Johnson, great fastball. Just outside. Harding comes back to first base safely. Johnson keeping a close eye on him over there. Hartley, ground ball to shortstop. Schreider picks it up cleanly, gets it to Cardoso. Cardoso turns, throws, puts it in the dirt. It gets by Drew Chase. Kyle Armsworthy covers at first, keeps Billy Hartley at first. It'll be Matt Doodley to step in, looking to move Hartley down the line.
At the plate, second baseman, number 11, Matt Doodley.
Doodley dropped down a great bunt and lagged it out to first, but just a nice glove flip to first base by Cardoso at second. Here it is, Schreider and Cardoso going to get another chance to turn one. And they do. Johnson working the ground ball well in that inning. It'll be the top of the order, Jason Pleasant-Sampson, to lead it off in the top of the 7th. Here on 360 Live.
No Kentville errors, no man.
Jason Pleasant-Sampson, the center fielder for the Wildcats, watches the first one go by. Ball one. Quick still dealing. This one popped up to the shortstop, Chris Thibodeau. Good range as he catches that one behind third base. One up and one out for the Dartmouth Dry.
Next to the plate, the right fielder, number 11, Colby Turple.
Right fielder Colby Turple steps in to face Doug Quick for his fourth plate appearance. Turple, of course, with the grand slam in the top of the third inning. Counting for Kentville's 4 runs at the moment. Turple slashes this one down the left field line and foul. Let's do it.
Count, Mr. Drum.
Little confusion as to how many pitches we've seen so far for Mr. Turple. There it is, 1-1. He has faced 2. I said 1. Boys in the booth have it all together up here. Quick and Heffley staying away from the inside where Turple turned on one and sent it down the right field line for his grand slam. Turple calls time. Quick has to reset. This one gets Turple off the top of the right foot. Quick deals outside. Heffley gets a glove on that one. Cooling down here in Dartmouth, and now what seem to be pterodactyls are flying around here in the booth.
Third baseman, number 13, Alex Ostrov.
Turple makes his way down to first base. Ostrov steps in, the third baseman. Quick. He's working well. The only damage was the Turple grand slam to this point, so he is pitching well. One mistake pitch certainly made him pay. Billy Hartley going to chase this down over the right field line. Just set a play. Hartley meeting his step quota. My phone might even consider that a workout. Those 90 fast-paced steps. Turple at first base. Quick throws over. No chance. Turple comes in standing, just trying to keep him off balance. Ostrov reached on a base on balls. His last at bat. Quick goes back to first base. Turple in there sliding this time, a little closer. Keep an eye on his lead for you guys at home. 2.5 steps. There's another half. He's 3 out there. 3.5 now. They go back over to first. Tag on the helmet, but the hands are in. There are some big bugs flying around here at Beasley Field. It's cooling off. They look like baby June bugs, which are my least favorite of the bug genre. But I'll survive. I'll keep calling this game for you guys. 2-1 count, 1 out. Colby Turple at first. Ostrov sees a pitch he likes, absolutely rips one into the stands. Nobody texting over there. 2-2 count. Way out in front of a fastball, I would say there. Let's see if Heffley calls for something off speed to mow him down. Good lead over there by Turple. Don't want to sleep on him either. Turple takes a good jump but doesn't leave. Ostrov watches one low. He's got himself a full count. Turple back standing. Kentville bench making some noise now, asking Ostrov to put one in the play, but he fouls it off. Reeves comes in, tries to make the sliding catch. No luck. Second life here for Ostrov, who hit well in the first web stream game here in Dartmouth. Turple does go. Tough play at second base. Thibodeau can't get him at second, but he makes the throw to first. Ostrov out for the second one of the inning. Turple moves on to second.
Okay, folks, get your 50-50 tickets out. $98.50 is your take tonight. Thank you for your support. On a yellow ticket, 8291948. That's a yellow ticket, 8291948. You can pick up your $98.50 from Brandon at the canteen.
Bob Gillis out to the mound now to relieve Mr. Quick of his duties on the evening. We'll be back on the other side of this warm-up.
Defensive changes.
Chris Ritchie takes the mound, number 30 for the Dry.
Kentville, second baseman number 21, Caden Cardoso.
He comes into the ball game after Doug Quick pitched 6 2/3. He faces the second baseman, Caden Cardoso, who is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Number 21 has Colby Turple at second base in scoring position, with 2 outs in the top half of the 7th inning. Richie's first pitch in the ball game, a strike. Bob Gillis will be happy with that. Big lead at second base for Turple. Thibodeau and Doodle chatted out, see who's going to hold him to the bag. Just outside that one, 1-1. Cardoso looking to stay hot. Richie keeps an eye on Turple at second. This one just out of reach of Thibodeau. Thibodeau does knock it down with the glove, so Turple can't score.
At the plate, the shortstop, number 15, Cody.
Cardoso with a well-placed hit. I'm going to give him a single on that one. Making him 3 for 4, having a ball game. It's Cody Schreider, the shortstop. 0 for 3 to this point in the ball game, looking to make a difference with a runner at third base. Ball gets away from Heffley. Cardoso makes it safely to second. Heffley can't make that throw due to Turple being on third ready halfway down the line. If he did throw, Turple was going to tie this ball game up. Runners on second and third now. 1-0 count to Cody Schreider. Schreider swings at a breaking ball. Looked good for 48 feet and then hit the dirt. There's another, same pitch. They're going after him here. Looks to be a slider more than a curveball, but a breaking ball would be the safe call. A lot of east to west movement on it. See if they go there again. Heffley set up low. This one doesn't quite break as east as Schreider probably would have liked. Heffley set up low and away again. This one inside and low. Heffley picks it out of the air. Huge save there by the catcher for the Dartmouth Dry. The Wildcats with runners on second and third. Tough at bat for Cody Schreider, but we'll be back in the bottom of the seventh with the top of the order.
Kevin Armsworthy, tonight's winner of $98.
We got a great ball game going here late. In the bottom of the 7th, it's 5-4 lead for the Dartmouth Dry over the Kentville Wildcats here at Beasley Field in Dartmouth. Number 4, the center fielder, Chris Head, steps in to face Jordan Johnson. Number 26 for the Wildcats. Johnson gets ahead of him early with a fastball. This one up. Chris Head with a good eye. 1-1 count. This one finds the inside. Chris Head agrees. You don't see that too often. The nod yes when the umpire brings it up. So Johnson deals Armsworthy in the splits. This one, hard shot up the middle. Cardoso has a tough bounce on him. He can't pick it up, and Chris Head leads off the bottom of the 7th with a base hit.
At the plate, shortstop, number 5, Chris Thibodeau.
Number 5, Chris Thibodeau, the shortstop for the Dartmouth Dry, steps in now. His last plate appearance was a moonshot out to left field, home run. With a runner on, the Dry fans would be happy to see it happen again. Let's see now what Chris Thibodeau can do against Jordan Johnson, the fireballer for the Wildcats. Chris Head over there at first base with a conservative lead. Johnson chases him back with a pickoff. He's in there standing. Head with a conservative lead still. Takes a couple more shuffles. Stays at first. This one inside to Thibodeau. Head leaning the other way. But he's back in there safely diving. Back again over to first base. This time Chris Head in there safely standing. Good jump, but doesn't leave first base. Armsworthy digs it out of the dirt. Backhand scoop. Makes it look easy, number 9, behind the plate. Chris Head is on Johnson's mind here. This one up and in. Three-one count to the power hitting shortstop. Head back over to first base, slides in safely. Thibodeau sends that one out to right field. Colby Turple says he's got it. He settles underneath and makes the first out of the bottom of the 7th.
Stepping into the box, first baseman number 23, Mike Reeves.
First baseman Mike Reeves steps in for his first look at Jordan Johnson. Chris Head still over there at first on the mind of Johnson. Back over to first base. Head makes it in standing. Johnson worked 2 back-to-back grounders to the shortstop Cody Schreider in his last inning, so I'm sure he's keeping Chris Head over there tight to first base. Looking to put one of these low heaters in the mid of Schreider or Cardoso at second base. Really popping that mitt. Kyle Armsworthy is number 26, Johnson. If Reeves sees that one on the outside of the half, I'd say he's going to try and go down the left field line here. Looks to be a bit of space between the left fielder and the line, but we will see. 3-1 count, another good count for a dry hitter. See if they go away here. It is away, but they find the black on the plate. Full count now, Mike Reeves. Looking to make an impact for his team. Runner on first is Chris Head. Johnson holds. Chris Head took off. Would have had the bag stolen. Johnson messed with his timing there, and Chris Head still got a great jump. Reeves sends one to center field. This is Pleasant. Sampson misreads it. Takes a couple steps in, and it goes over his head. He's out there deep in center. Chris Head wheeling around. Here's a hard throw from Schreider, cut off by Chase. And Reeves will land in there at third base. And we're lost for words as to what to call that hit from Reeves. I would give him a double and then advance on the throw, but wouldn't blame.
Now to the plate, third baseman number 82.
We're going to give him a double up here in the box. And that makes it a 6-4 ball game. One out. Third baseman Anthony McKinley steps in now. He saw a base on balls in his last at-bat. Had a double in his first plate appearance and then popped out in his second appearance. Runner on third is Mike Reeves after landing at second and taking third on a throw home. McKinley sees one up and in. 2 balls, 1 strike to him now with 1 out. So first baseman and Cardoso at second are both playing even with the grass. If Johnson can get a slow roller to the right half of the field, they're going to go home and cut Mike Reeves down, but they get a hard shot to third. Ostrov can't come up with it down the third base line. McKinley's going to land in there for his second double of the night. And Reeves will be in to score to make this a 7-4 ball game.
Now at the plate, the catcher number 42, Colton Heffley.
The catcher Colton Heffley now steps to the plate, but we got a mound visit for the Wildcats. Chatted out. I'm sure Coach is saying let's keep it in the lower half of the zone, as you did earlier. Connor Longafee now coming in to pinch run at second base for Anthony McKinley. Longafee, a late substitution in each ball game that we've webcast to this point. Just to let the folks know at home, we do have internet in Sydney and Halifax and Dartmouth. We're having a tough time getting internet in Kentville. And I can't see it happening this season. I know that's disappointing to the folks out in Kentville, but we'll work on it for next season, and we'll have all 4 teams well covered. See if Truro wants back in the league next year. We'll have another team, fingers crossed. Heffley jumps on this one from Jordan. Johnson sends it down the left field line, lands about 10 feet in front of the 322 sign. And that's 3 doubles in a row for the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry as McKinley scores on that one from Heffley.
Stepping into the box, the designated hitter, number 41, Dan Camo.
8-4 ball game here, 1 out in the 7th inning. Dan Camo, the DH, steps in to face Johnson for his first time. He faced Matty Johnson for his first 3 plate appearances. Heffley at second with a good lead. This one finds the inside half for Johnson. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Camo rips this one. Left fielder can't see it. It's off the fence out there and left. 4 doubles in a row now for the Dartmouth Dry. Scoring Connor Longafee, who was pinch running for Anthony McKinley.
Out the plate, left fielder number 33, Matt Harding.
Well, that was Heffley at second base. Sorry, guys. Longafee scored when McKinley was out there at second. Doesn't get easier in this Dartmouth Dry lineup as Ted Camo steps to the plate. Potent offense from Dartmouth. Camo sends a worm burner down to second base, and Chase comes up with that at first base. 2 down for the Wildcats.
At the plate, right fielder number 17, Billy Hartley.
Billy Hartley to the dish now. Dan Camo made his way over to third on that ground ball from Ted Camo. Big block there by Kyle Arms, really not wanting this one to get away. It was Harding that went in for Camo, that's right, yes. And I said it was Ted at bat. Bingo. That's right. Subbed him at first base. And left, yeah. Yeah. So that last at bat wasn't Ted Camo, it was Matt Harding, who took over in left field the inning previous. Ground ball from Billy Hartley to Drew Chase at first base. He runs over the bag himself and gets the 3rd out for the Wildcats.
In the bottom half of the 7th inning for Dartmouth, they scored 4 runs on 5 hits. There were no Kentville errors and 1 man left on base. After 7 complete, Dartmouth 9, Kentville 4.
We'll be back with the top half of the 8th. Kyle Armsworthy should be walking to the dish if I've got my book right. So we'll talk to you then.
Kentville, the catcher, number 9, Kyle Armsworthy.
Leading off the top of the 8th is number 9, Kyle Armsworthy. The catcher in this ball game for the Wildcats has done a great job blocking balls and getting on base. Just once so far in this ball game. Got a single up and in from new pitcher for the Dry, Jeff Reeves, older brother of Mike Reeves over there at first base. Hard shot to the man over at first base. It gets under the glove. Armsworthy makes it safe at first base.
At the plate, the left fielder, number 28, Brandon McKay.
Brandon McKay now steps in for the Wildcats. He's got runner at first is Kyle Armsworthy. Armsworthy with young legs over there. Don't remember him taking too many bags when he was at Hammonds Plains A, but who knows? It's senior ball. He's making a new name for himself over there. Down 5, the Wildcats, I'm sure, are up for whatever it takes to get back into this ball game late. McKay fouls that one off. High heat fouled off by McKay. McKay now gets ahead of that one, sends it down the left field line, but foul. Reeves, the hard breaking ball, gets Brandon McKay swinging. John and Sarah, the DH.
At the plate, the designated hitter number 30, John
2 for 3
Sarah.
with 2 singles. Hard liner to center field is out so far in this ball game, so he's seeing it well at the DH. Down the left field line, foul. And Sarah has placed 2 to the left side. So Dudelay, the second baseman for the Dry, is holding second base in case Armsworthy were to take off. Thibodeau playing the traditional hole there between second and third. And Longafee is somewhat holding the line over there. Runner at first is Armsworthy, and Sarah at the plate. Jeff Reeves looks into Colton Heffley, gets his sign, decides on one. Lifts the leg and throws. The bat goes out of Ansara's hands as a foul ball dribbles down the first base coaching box. Threw the bat on the ball. Down 2 strikes. There it is, down the left side again. Slow roller to Longafee. He goes to second. Gets the lead runner, Armsworthy Dudelay, at the bag to make the putout.
The first baseman number 39, Drew Chase.
I'm falling asleep here on the graphics, everybody. Sorry about that, but there is 2 outs in the top half of the 8th inning. Drew Chase steps in now, the first baseman, number 39. He takes this one off the elbow. And the umpires are going to have a meeting as Gallant, the home plate umpire, not sure if that got elbow or bat. They're giving him first base. As first expected, he was hit by the pitch.
Center fielder number 38, Jason Pleasant Sampson.
And that'll roll the lineup up to the speedy center fielder, Jason Pleasant Sampson. So Ansara at second, Chase at first base, and Pleasant Sampson looking to put the bat on the ball. He hits a liner to second base. Dudelay picks that one up out of the air to get the third out.
Top half of the 8th inning for Kentville. They scored no runs on 1 hit. There were no Dartmouth errors and 2 men left on base.
It'll be Matt Dudelay, Chris Head, and Chris Thibodeau when we come back in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Thank the following sponsors: Dartmouth Metals, Steel Subaru, Leading off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Dry, second baseman number 11, Matt Dudelet.
Matt Dudelet steps in. He faces a new pitcher, Alex Ostrov, we've all seen before on this webcast. Brought to you by 360 Live. He pitched a great game against Dartmouth a couple weeks ago. He was at third base. John Ansara now moves to third. And Drew Chase, who was hit by a pitch, is no longer at first base. Try to get a number there from the Wildcat player. I'll update you when we get it. Dudelet pops one up to center field. Pleasant Sampson settles under it, makes the grab for the first out of the bottom of the 8th.
Now pinch hitting number 12, Jack Fader.
Jake or Jack? Jack. Fader now steps into the box for Chris Head. He'll assume be his defensive replacement in the field as well. Fader facing Ostrov. Fader gets a bloop out to center field. Sampson with good speed tracks it down. And he's accountable for the first 2 outs.
Now at the plate, shortstop, number 5, Chris Thibodeau.
Chris Thibodeau steps in. 2 for 4 on the night. The single and a home run. Solo shot. Ostrov comes in the game and gets 3 quick ones as Armsworthy grabs this one in foul play for the 3rd out. 3 up, 3 down. All pop outs.
Bottom half of the 8th inning for Dartmouth, nothing across after 8 complete. Dartmouth
We'll be back with the top of the 9th. The Wildcats have some work to do.
Reminder for you fans, this weekend
New pitcher in the game for the Dartmouth Dry is Jason Mosier. We saw him pitch an absolute gem against Halifax on July 2nd. Always reliable is Mr. Mosier.
at the plate, the right fielder number 11, Colby
Coming in to face a tough part of this Kentville Wildcats lineup, though, with Colby Turple, the grand slam hitter in the third inning. Alex Ostrov followed by Caden Cordoso. So we will see if the Wildcats can make some noise here in the top half of the ninth. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday here at Beasley Field. Once again, we're going to get our first look at the fourth team in this Nova Scotia Senior Baseball League. Sydney Sooners will be in town. 1 o'clock start on Sunday. Really looking forward to seeing how the top two teams battle it out. It's always a great rivalry between the Sooners and the Dry. Mix up here now. Colton Heffley wears this one off the hip. Late break. Mosier looking to close it down here. Finds the zone. Oh, misses, my bad. 3-1 count to Turple. The first batter he's faced here in the ninth. Turple takes a walk to lead off the ninth.
Now at the plate, the pitcher, number 13, Alex Ostrov.
Mr. Versatility himself, number 13, Alex Ostrov, steps in. Third base, now he's pitching. Mosier makes a move to first illegally. That's a balk. Strange start for Mosier here. Broken bat. Tough spot, though. Ostrov got to wheel it out. Mosier makes a play, no issue. I oversold how difficult that play would have been, or I guess I would have botched it if it was me on the mound, so maybe that's coming from experience. But there's Colby Turple on third base now.
Second baseman, number 21, Caden.
As Caden Cardoso steps into the box to face Mosier. Mosier with that Mariano Rivera cutter. Splits Ostrov's bat on the handle. I'll try and work this graphic here in the last inning. I know I've been asleep at the wheel a little bit. 1 out. Mosier with the gas this time. Sends one in there to Cardoso, the second baseman. Number 15 popping that mitt high with the heat. Heffley working up in the zone here against Cardoso. Turple at third. This one's going to the parking lot. Late on the fastball. Almost exclusive fastballs in this at bat. I want to say that was off speed, but Cardoso's reaction would say otherwise. Fouls it off. I think they're going with the heat again. Sure enough, two-seamer this time. Drop, third strike, though. Heffley's got to make a play. Made it exciting with a high throw. But Reeves there to make the play. 2 down now.
Cody Schreider.
Cody Schreider steps to the plate. Not having a great night, 0 for 4. Late in this ball game, looking to make some noise with Turple at third base. Cody Schreider sees a strike from Jason Mosier. Mosier cuts across the inside of the plate again. Schreider not happy. Down 2 strikes. Schreider looking to make anything happen. Big chokes up the bat about 1.5 inches. Just looking to slap something in. There's a big hack too, up in the zone. And that's the ball game, folks. Dartmouth Dry take this one 9-4.
Kentville 4.
It was a great night here at Dartmouth Field, Beasley Field in Dartmouth, if I could speak English here late in the day. Thank you so much for listening. 360 Live, so proud to bring you this Nova Scotia Senior Baseball League action. We'll see you on Sunday when the Sydney Sooners are in town. Hope you guys have a great week.